there is as well a big problem in crypto and in DeFi space that big sums of the assets are accumulated by some whales, and then they can easily just dump the tokens, and just average people community will suffer. So in what opinion, what should be done in this case?
That's such a hard problem to solve. Unfortunately, I think it's just the nature of the space. Like, it's super early. There's low liquidity. These projects are just like very small. They don't have enough volume, so they're just like subject to those fluctuations. I think like the good side of it is that DeFi and blockchain is pretty transparent. So there are ways to analyze kind of which tokens are at risk of suffering kind of that sort of like volatility. And there are tools that can help you decipher that, like Nansen is a great tool to like analyze wallets and tokens. So I'd say at the moment there's not a whole lot like an individual trader could do, except, you know, if they are worried about kind of being dumped on, to not buy like very liquid tokens. And second, if they do buy and want to like invest in a small project, then just like do a lot of due diligence and research and see kind of how the holding distribution is, and if there's like a couple of whales holding a token, maybe kind of, you know, be more cautious about that. So yeah, I'd say it's just like the nature of the space, but there are things that people can do to protect themselves.
And you research so many projects, and in your opinion, what should projects have to be successful?
Oh wow, that's really tough. I don't know. That I mean, if you can solve that, then you're like set for life. But I don't know, things like, I think like having a genuine mission, I think is very important, because, you know, if you have a genuine mission and you have an actual problem that you're solving, I think that gets you like very far down kind of the path to success. A lot of the projects that we're seeing, or especially like that we were seeing end of last year, were all about like profiting from the hype, you know? So like lots of NFT avatar projects, lots of like yield farms, which, you know, weren't really solving any problem. They were just, you know, trying to profit off, you know, the latest trend. So that's kind of a huge red flag. It's like, look at projects that have a mission with founders and a team that have a track record, that are experienced, or if not, like maybe you're not super experienced, but that you have the right skills to solve that, like the problems that you're setting out to solve. I think that's kind of a good start.
And you mentioned NFTs, so what's your opinion on NFTs and Metaverse space?
Okay, so I would kind of separate the two. So my opinion on NFTs is that it's an amazing kind of new digital kind of primitive, if you will, though I don't love that word, but just like a great innovation. It's really, you know, it's something that allows people to have a digital ownership, which is huge. Like before, you couldn't really prove that you own any digital file on the internet. Like if you have a JPEG, millions of other people could have the same exact JPEG. Same with MP3s, or same with any kind of digital file. Now you can have a way to show that you own some specific digital file. And I think that's huge. I think, you know, in the past year we just saw kind of the first iteration of this, and kind of the first use case, which happened to be kind of art and like just like collectibles. But I would guess that there will be many other use cases. You know, like anything that can be put online and requires kind of verifiable ownership has the potential to be made into an NFT. So I think that's a really exciting space. I think there was definitely, and maybe still is, a lot of hype around that space. So I do think it's like a revolutionary technology and it'll change the way that we use the internet. But that doesn't mean that a lot of the projects that are using this technology are not overhyped. And yeah, I think they are. With the metaverse, like, I'm way less bullish on that. I think kind of what has been made to what people have been defining as the metaverse, this kind of like virtual reality world, or that's not very exciting to me. Like, it's just like a tool to interact with the internet. That's okay, it's cool, but I don't think it's like groundbreaking, to be honest. Like a VR headset is not super exciting to me. And to me, like, we're already living in the metaverse, you know, the fact that like all of our lives are online, you know, like all of my communications with my team at the Defiant, which is like very distributed and remote, happens over Discord. 99% of my communications and calls happen over like Google Meet or Zoom or Discord. All of like my interaction with the broader community happens on Twitter. It's like everything is online. And yeah, the next step will be kind of this Web3 where there's like a value layer on top, and where like money and transactions are at the core of how we interact online, and that's super exciting. And yeah, like if we use like VR headsets and that's how we experience some of it, that's cool. But I think kind of the bigger innovations are kind of in kind of other areas. So.
And do you hold any NFTs yourself?
I do. I hold NFTs of my own project, of The Infinite Machine. So my book, The Infinite Machine, is being turned into a movie. And we are funding the movie with NFTs. And so I hold NFTs of The Infinite Machine. It's really cool. Like, we are using NFTs as like a backstage pass into the movie. So NFTs have like rewards in them, where some NFTs are randomly assigned traits, like being an extra in the movie, appearing in credits, being invited to the movie premiere, and so on. And I think, to me, like, the most interesting part is that NFT holders have a direct say in how the movie will get made, because NFT holders will form part of a DAO, and the DAO itself has a role as an executive producer in the movie, which is the same role I have. So it's like I'm an executive producer, and NFT holders have kind of the same level that I do. So that's a really exciting project. So I own a bunch of Infinite Machine NFTs. I used to own World of Women, but I got like tons of offers until I sold it. But I really like that project. I really support it, and I've also bought NFTs from the artists in the Infinite Machine collection. So something very cool about the Infinite Machine collection is that so the art itself is like different versions of the Ethereum logo, and the artists who made this logo are a very diverse group of artists from emerging nations. So, you know, as I don't think I mentioned, but I'm from Chile, and as I did mention that I worked in Argentina, so I have a very strong connection to South America and emerging countries in general, and want to support creators from there. So artists for the Infinite Machine project are from emerging countries. And so, yeah, I've collected some of the works from those artists for myself.
And at which stage is your movie? When do you plan to release it?
It's very, very early stage. Right now we have just signed with a big Hollywood producer. I cannot reveal the name yet because we're kind of like in the works with a PR agency who's gonna do like the press release and so on. So yeah, we have the like really good producer, and once that's kind of like the process is started with them, then next steps will be the like script, the story, then the cast. So there's still like a lot of work to do. We're very kind of in the early stages. I understand it takes like 2 years to make. So yeah, I think like end of 2023 might be kind of the date.
The next cycle.
yeah. So yeah, I'll have to be very patient. I cannot wait to see it, but it'll it's still some time away.
And how do you see crypto developments here in Latin America?
Ethereum has been really kind of eye-opening. I think like the crypto community here is so diverse. I've seen just like so many more women involved in this space, and I've seen kind of in other events, and so that was very encouraging to see. I think maybe Latin America used to be more behind in development in crypto, but especially kind of with the leadership of a lot of Argentine companies, that's not the case anymore. And it just like makes a lot of sense. Like all the kind of use cases for crypto are here. Like protecting your savings from inflation and currency controls. People who don't trust their government and kind of would be able to use like non-custodial wallets. Like all of that is here. So it's like the ground is very ripe for crypto adoption. And it was great to see like so many Latin America-based projects. So yeah, I think like this ecosystem is becoming bigger and more active. So yeah, I'm super like bullish crypto in Latam.
And what next crypto trends do you see?
So I've been saying this for like since the end of last year, but I think this year we'll see a lot of development in the DAO space. So we've definitely seen kind of DAOs inspire the imaginations of people of like if you're able to kind of coordinate people and capital from all over the world, people are realizing you can do like big things. So I've seen kind of this movement of like people like dreaming very big and wanting to coordinate to like buy like big things like a sports team, or like there's like a golf club DAO. Of course, like Constitution DAO was like the big one, and there's like a few other ones that are kind of like crazy ideas that are forming up around DAOs. So I think that's just like, I don't know, just like the beginning of like a trend around DAOs. I've also seen a lot of projects and developments to provide tools for DAOs. So it's like a lot of things are kind of combining to tell me that DAOs will be an important trend this year. Something else that I'm watching and interested in is decentralized social media. So I think like last year there was a lot of censorship from Twitter and YouTube, and that kind of has like really strengthened the case for a decentralized alternative. And so Aave launched its Lens protocol, and so that's something I'm watching, and there have been like other projects trying to do something like that as well. So I think that's an interesting trend.
Yeah, I remember the whole speech of Vitalik at the Ethereum conference in Paris in July last year was quite focused on decentralized social media.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really great use case once it like picks up steam. A trend that I would like to see is decentralized identity. I think that's like still so needed in DeFi and Web3, but we haven't really seen any kind of decentralized identity projects take off. So that's something else that I'm watching.
What about ZK knowledge proofs?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it has big potential?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think that's kind of still like to be seen how well it works. Like it's just kind of coming to life, and you know, projects are just like launching. But from what I understand, they're like a super. They can provide a lot of like meaningful scalability without compromising on decentralization. And I understand that they offer the ability to. They're more programmable than other scalability solutions. So yeah, I think that's a super exciting development as well.
Okay, let's see what will happen next. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Of course, this was a really great conversation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great meeting you here, Andrea.
Yeah, it's been amazing. This view is just incredible.
Yeah.